Paul Blore, everyone. So I'm here to tell you about Power Up Gambia, a grassroots organization here in Philadelphia that provides reliable electricity and water to healthcare facilities in the Gambia through solar energy. So why have you never heard of the Gambia? Well, it's not even twice the size of Delaware, and if it weren't for tax-free shopping, none of us would have heard of Delaware either. They don't have anything of strategic importance, no diamonds, no oil, no nickel. And for that reason, they're left alone, and they're largely peaceful, and they stay off the nightly news. So what does that leave the Gambia with? It leaves them with peanuts, and I literally mean peanuts. It's their #1 cash crop. Agriculture is their #1 industry, and most of that is subsistence farming. Money does not grow on the trees or in the ground in the Gambia. What does it mean when peanuts are your main commodity? Well, it means that you're at the bottom of the Human Development Index. It means that in a year you make about half what I spend on my rent per month. And it means that your infant mortality rate is 10 times that of the US. Like most developing countries, electricity is not available outside of the major rural areas. In sub-Saharan Africa, 547 million people go without electricity. That's more than the population of all of North America. So look at our continent there and imagine that the entire thing is pitch black. Imagine that you have to go to the hospital at 2 in the morning and that there are no lights, that a fully equipped laboratory is sitting there idle and cannot run any diagnostic tests, and that vaccines and blood samples are going to crap. And imagine that you're a mother and that there's no ultrasound able to assess any potential dangers, that the doctors have to deliver your child by candlelight, and that you and your child are malnourished and they can't run an incubator to keep your child alive. What does water have to do with this? Well, you need power to run water. Without power, water is scarce and sanitation becomes compromised. Here you see two professionals having to scrub each other in by pouring water over each other's hands. So cut to 2006 when UPenn pre-med student Catherine Hall goes to the Gambia on a volunteer trip, meets CEO Keba Baji, who tells her that 20% of the annual budget was spent on fuel alone. Keba had the foresight to realize that solar was the answer. He pulled out a quote for Catherine from a local contractor who would design and install a solar system strong enough to power the entire hospital. What do they have more than peanuts in the Gambia? They have sun. He knew that on-site electrical generation via solar power was the answer. So back here, Catherine did fundraising and volunteers from individuals, schools, and power-up parties, like Tupperware, but saving lives. With time, we did it. First, there was a smaller system installation dedicated to the water, and then we did a 12-kilowatt system, which has improved all of the conditions that I mentioned, and it's also boosted staff retention and the credibility of our hospital, meaning more people show up because they know they can trust the care that they get. At the water installation celebration, folks from a neighboring village traveled 3 hours to ask for the same kind of installation. They were doing everything in their power that they could, but obviously they did not have the money, those resources. Community buy-in is very important to us. These folks had built the entire clinic themselves, and since then they have built the house that will hold the battery backup system. So moving on, we have two major projects on the horizon. First, we are working to build the human capacity in the country by building a curriculum that will train Gambians in solar technical skills, design, construction, maintenance of solar energy systems. This will be taught at a Gambian Trade Institute, bringing high-level skills to a region with high unemployment and providing longer-term sustainability for our projects. Our other major project is the biggest hospital in the Gambia, which is also the farthest upriver, farthest from the port, meaning a 400-mile round trip to get diesel fuel out there. They only have about 9 hours when there is fuel, 9 hours of electricity. They have a catchment area of about 600,000 people to come in there as patients. Anita Smith from the UK has been working there for 18 years to improve conditions, and we're confident in the community buy-in there. She claims 100% staff retention in her time there. So here's the big picture. The United Nations has set out 8 goals to change the world by 2015. Power Up Gambia addresses 4 of those goals, arguably more. Now with the goal line 4 years away, it may seem that the big guys like the UN and the World Bank and those guys ought to be taking care of this, but guess what? Power Up Gambia is a grassroots organization founded by a 20-year-old, and for 3.5 years, it was an all-volunteer operation, and our greatest portion of support came from individual donors. This is ordinary people helping doing an extraordinary thing for extraordinary people halfway around the world. So please consider going to our website, throw a party for us, donate, consider volunteering for us. Thank you, and night, Philadelphia.